one. Do you make the final decision as to who's put on your countering violent extremism working group?
6 weeks ago. Yeah, 6 weeks ago.
We have an individual in the department who is the lead on CVE.
Okay. Are you consulted at all on who's put on that working group?
I have not been, no.
Right. You were aware that the president of ISNA, Imam Majid, is a member of that working group, correct?
I can't answer that. I don't know whether that's an accurate statement or not.
Okay, well, you can go look at your own website and find the documentation. He has been on your working group, the Countering Violence, Violent Extremism. Do you know how many of the members of your Countering Violent Extremism are members of Muslim Brotherhood?
Again, since I'm not involved in the appointment, but if I might...
Well, my time is running out, so I really don't have time, but I've got a very serious question that needs to be confronted. Well, are you familiar with Muhammad? Are you familiar with...
I would like the ability to expand on my answer if that is all right with you.
I don't have time. I'm running out, and I can't be filibustered.
Well, okay.
But let me ask you, Muhammad Biari was a member of the working group. You promoted him, and it said there, I've got articles here that say you swore him in as a member now of your, let's see, the Homeland Security Advisory Group. He's apparently been given a secret clearance. Do you know Mr. Biari?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware he had a secret clearance?
I believe everybody on the Homeland Security Advisory Council ultimately gets a secret clearance.
Would you be surprised if they... Well, I don't want to tell, but were you aware that he spoke at the big event in Texas honoring the Ayatollah Khomeini?
I'm not aware of all the places he has spoken.
Chairman's time has expired.
If I could just have 15 seconds, this is critical. Secretary, were you aware that a week ago today, from his home computer, he accessed the SLIC database, got information off, and has been chopping a story to national media on Islamophobia directed at the governor of Texas and the security folks there in Texas? Were you aware of that?
No.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Wednesday, January 18th, 2012, and I'm Darko. Website is ggnonline.com, and ddarko2012 is my YouTube channel. All the links will be posted in YouTube's video description, and I'm ready to start. Okay, so sorry about the audio and the video. It was buffered. It's just, that's the way it works. Some days it's crappier than others, and for those who complain about the quality, hey, don't worry. And maybe within a year or two, we won't be able to do this anymore due to copyright laws and all that other stuff. So I wanted to put this video in there, but then again I was worried about my video not being made due to copyright, so I just put the article up. White House locked down after smoke bomb attack, and it says White House is locked down on Wednesday for more than an hour after a smoke bomb, quote, landed inside a compound of the United States President, I keep wanting to say corporation, residence. It's their headquarters, basically, breaching the high security cordon around the building. So he wasn't even there. And the first thing I thought was agent provocateur. That's what it was. And, you know, you can't go around protesting around the White House. You just can't do it for a long period of time. You're going to get a false flag. You're going to get provocateurs doing what they're doing. That's just the name of the game. So, U.S. holds highest contacts so far with Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood, shunned when Mubarak was ruling. So this ties in with that video with Napolitano giving security clearances to members of the Muslim Brotherhood, and it just goes to show you again that they were behind a lot of these uprisings. The first one was right there in Egypt, and now they have the Muslim Brotherhood, just like in Libya. You have the Al-Qaeda flag and Sharia law. So this is all, you could see the hypocrisy, and that's going to be the title of this video. You can see the hypocrisy. It's not so much of hypocrisy because they mean to do this. They mean to create our enemies. And when I say they, I'm talking about traitors, whatever, inside the government. It's not our government. It's whoever the big corporations, the big families, the 13 families and the 300 sub-families, and those are the ones. They're using, quote, our government against us, and they're creating enemies in Pakistan, Afghanistan, you know, peeing on corpses and stuff like that. So it says here the #2 diplomat in the U.S. State Department met Wednesday with leaders of Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood, the highest level of contact between Washington and the once banned group poised to dominate the country's first parliament chosen after the ouster of President Mubarak. Moving on here, spy agencies link terrorists and international bodies. A senior Iranian lawmaker says certain Western intelligence agencies act as a go-between for international organizations and terrorists and work against Iran. And based off that video, a little testimony with Napolitano, our big mother or big brother, that would be an accurate statement. So Defense Science Board Task Force on Directed Energy Weapons said directed energy offers promise as a transformational game changer in military operations, able to augment and improve operational capabilities in many areas. So they're talking about using high energy lasers as weapons, the progress towards weaponizing of these systems. So as the possible false flag could be occurring here or in London and the Olympics and the Jubilee, we may have a little stage alien invasion, and then we'll have to have all these big expensive and fancy weapons, space weapons and that, like von Braun was warning about. And it'll be just so they can create a battle weapons in space, and it'll all be off this false flag saying the aliens are going to come get us. And this all ties in with the not chemtrails, but like I said, I use that as a general term. The weather modification, the cloud seeding, the spraying of aerosols, and such. And it says here, missions such as space control and force protection, and tactical missions such as ground-based defense against rockets, really air-based, artillery and mortars, defense against man-propelled air defense systems. Of course, that's what HARP is all about, and that system is jamming, using an electromagnetic field and jamming communications, intercepting rockets and such. Also, you have the blue beam technology, where you can be creating this plasma effect and actually creating like a big picture and sounds in the sky, so you're seeing it. I've been covering this now for the past 2 years, documenting one by one little trickles of evidence where now we have sound. Like in the beginning of the video, we have sound. We have, you know, in China you had the mirages of the city in the middle of the river. So you have that, among other things, little spirals in the sky in Norway, which is just same type facility as Puerto Rico and in Alaska. So they're testing the system, and then when they show the public, they just say, oh, see, it's space aliens. So a new Naval Directed Energy Center to impact future weapons for naval and joint forces. Mr. Massive, you can check out his website, or not his website, but his channel. He's the one that turned me on to this these sources right here. The Navy demonstrated its commitment to game-changing directed energy. That's what they're calling it, directed energy technological programs at the Naval Directed Energy Center ribbon-cutting ceremony held at the Naval Surface Warfare Center. So was this on headline news? No. Moving on. So here you go, U.S. Army Tactical High Energy Laser Beam Director Turret. Here's how they are mobilizing these tools or weapons. Here's evidence that they actually can shoot them down. They've tried it on a little drone right there. And basically a Russian tank, there's one equipped with that. So just like the last set of videos, directed energy weapons have been a recurring theme in science fiction literature, right? Because they're getting you ready for it. And cinema ever since H.G. Wells published War of the Worlds. Oh, again with the aliens. Which is interesting because that was a psychological experiment. They said, oh, it's to see how stupid people were that were religious. Oh, they were religious. That's what they taught us in one of my journalism classes. But they were testing people, and they wanted to see if that was the way to go. And now, almost 100 years later, that's what we're going to be doing. Here's the U.S. Air Force's prototype in flight. The Star Wars Breakthrough Adaptive Mirrors. So it says here, the Reagan-era Strategic Defense Initiative, or Star Wars program, intended to drive the Soviets to bankruptcy. That's funny. That's the same thing that that they said about the CIA using the Taliban. You see how it always comes back and bites us in the ass? Well, us, but not them. Not the big corporations and the movers and shakers. Our masters. So they go in there and talk about how they're having all these problems with it and how they were able to figure it out. Well, I wonder if it has to do with the spraying and the aerosols and all that stuff and HARP. Here's a little concept photo, and then you'll have another one right here from 1987. So the Russians have it too. So I really don't buy that us versus them crap anymore. State Department, U.S. not overly concerned about Iraq detaining a handful of U.S. contractors. So as they pull all the troops out, and of course there's still contractors on a humongous base there, they said here that the Iraqi government detained a handful of contractors over visas and paperwork. Maybe they just treat it like giving Muslim Brotherhood individuals secret clearance. They're not that concerned. Iraq tells Turkey, do not interfere in our affairs, which I covered recently. Look at this. Rocket hits Turkish embassy in Iraq. I guess that's another way to send a message. Mass grave found in southeastern Turkey. So Turkey's all trying to do what they're trying to do, and they're digging up mass graves of bodies from when they were striking down the Kurdish Workers' Party, calling them terrorists. U.S.-led forces kill 5 Afghan civilians. Afghan president has demanded an immediate inquiry into the alleged abuse of 2 Afghan children by 2 British soldiers in the country. Pakistan opposition stages anti-government rally saying the existing government is not working according to the will of Pakistanis. They're working against the sovereignty of Pakistan. Pakistani lawmakers calling the government to arrest Musharraf after he returns. So some are saying a coup is right around the corner. Supreme Court has issued a contempt order against the Prime Minister, Jalal. This is AP garbage. Pakistan Taliban leader reported dead in U.S. strike. But look at this. U.S. reports killing top Pakistan militant for the 8th time. But they do that because of the recent drone strike that they started just recently that killed some more people. It was either civilians or military. But basically, they took a break from the drone strikes because they were pissing people off. And then basically, they have to put this out again because they killed more people. Taliban storm Pakistan police station. So soldiers arrive at police station in northwest Pakistan where attackers were wearing police uniforms, killed 4 people and wounded 8. And I'm not bashing the British people here. I'm bashing how all the governments are the same. Over 50 jobless total is highest since 1994, and 1 in 5 young workers can't find a job either. Moving on here, we have rise in homelessness, adding to Greece's economic woes, so they're homeless, and doing many other things like bartering and stealing. Greece is insolvent, will default on its debt, Fitch says. UK planning for a Eurozone collapse, so they know it's coming, and they know the unemployment rates are due to the mass immigration policies that they're doing. But look at this, they're going to cut back the army, the smallest size since the Crimean War, weakening your national defense like here at home. Wave of support for new royal flagship, plans for £80 million vessel to mark Diamond Jubilee receives cross-party backing for the big false flag. But let's not worry about your own people. A defendant accused of keeping badger paws arrives in court hearing with an Apache outfit. But look at this. Badger call will stretch police and put lives at risk in the UK. But he's been charged under the Protection of Badgers Act. In 2011 is UK's second warmest year on record. But ladybugs are freezing. I've never seen them like that before. And then, of course, you have what? Energy prices creating a heat or eat decision. This is GGN, and I'm Darko. Thank you.